Welcome to episode number 340 of the Anxiety Guy podcast. Thank you, my friend, for joining me here today on this very important podcast episode. Before I get into this podcast episode, let me remind you that starting today, you can begin your health anxiety healing at theanxietyguy.com under the menu item Health Anxiety. Learn more about this powerful program that will take you to health anxiety healing within 12 weeks. theanxietyguy.com. And in today's podcast episode, my friends, I decided that I wanted to share with you the most important aspects to healing anxiety. Now, let's understand that I believe you can heal anxiety through a systematic process, meaning you can unravel the root causes to your anxiety, yes, and then take daily steps to reframe those old associations. Yes, you can go that way. But you can also heal anxiety from the top down. And what I mean by that is when you start to change who you believe you are, I mean at an identity level, then everything that attaches to that old identity will subside. So what I mean by that is, let's say you're going about your day, and in a particular moment, you start to reconnect with your old childhood ways. I'm not talking about your childhood where you began to place fearful meanings on things based on your traumas. No, I'm talking before that. I'm talking your genuine and natural nature. When you start to connect with your childhood and you start to become more childlike, what tends to happen is you start to see everything differently, even the things that used to cause you anxiety. So one of the most powerful things that I did in my healing journey was I started to reconnect with my child side. Okay? And as I did this, I started to feel a certain lightness come over me. And I started to ask myself the question, what would my childhood side, my childlike side, do in this particular situation? How would this side of me react? Powerful, powerful questions and a very mindful approach to fearful situations. So that's just a quick little snippet that you can take with you and begin applying today. But let's get into these really important aspects, okay? And what I want you to do is I want you to write down which one of these aspects you truly need to focus on, from 1 all the way to 6. Because many times we spend a lot of time on one particular area, but what happens is we negate other areas. And the truth is that if you want to heal anxiety and become someone completely different and live in a place of inner peace, you have to take the education that nature provides. And nature provides this sense of balance and this sense of healing over time that we must begin to integrate into our own healing journeys. Number 1, mindset. Mindset, my friends. Mindset, mindset, mindset. There are so many people out there asking the question of how, but they don't ask the question of what enough. How do I do X? How do I deal with this situation? We're always looking for the right way to go through a certain situation behaviorally. But let me tell you something. If you don't have the right mindset, then you're only going to be faced with temporary relief. And that's not what we're here for. When talking about mindset, I'm talking about this in regards to your general approach to anxiety and situational. When you wake up in the morning, there must be a general approach to the day. Not only the day, but the things that you are afraid of and the things that create fear within you. So one of the best approaches or mindsets that I began adopting into my life each and every morning was that if I was afraid of something, or if a catastrophic idea arose, or if a feeling arose that normally took me down the rabbit hole of anxiety, I would see that moment as a practice opportunity to practice something, anything that goes against my old ways of reacting to that fear. Okay? This is very, very crucial in your healing journey. So what this does is it creates a stop in the cycle of anxiety. Because yes, first you may experience a feeling, and then you may be adding to that feeling unconsciously through certain ideas, and then you may be creating distraction action, meaning possibly going to your phone to distract from a symptom or to distract from the external environment that you're in, and so on and so forth. And the cycle goes around and around. But in that very moment, when you catch yourself going, hey, this is my new mindset. And in this moment, I've got the opportunity to practice responding rather than reacting. All of a sudden, everything changes and you put a stop to that cycle. And that's what we're really looking for here. Okay? We're looking for an opportunity to say, hey, inner child, what you deem as being a threatening thing, okay, whether present or in the future, is just an idea that you have adopted from somewhere or somebody else. Ooh, that's important. Because when you consistently send this type of a message to your own inner child, things start to look more peaceful, okay, and you start to feel lighter. But when talking about mindset, yes, I would like you to adopt a general better mindset towards anxious situations, but also make sure that you adopt the type of mindset you need for situational experiences as well. Okay, so one, you've got this general approach to your anxiety that's different than something that you have been feeding into for the last couple years maybe, yes, but you've also got this situational mindset. Okay? Yes, a social environment can be a practice opportunity. Yes, it can be an opportunity to step out of your old identity and into a new identity. Yes, when you start to face that very situation that used to cause you anxiousness, that can be something that benefits you rather than something that you need to run away from. Okay, so mindset in terms of these two separate situations are very, very important. A general one and a situational one. Okay. Number 2, habit that we have to begin altering is based around the skill sets. Okay, skill sets. You need techniques that allow you to communicate with your own inner child. And let me tell you something. The most readily available technique or skill set related to logic is the weakest way to convince the inner child that a threatening environment, a threatening time of life or relationship is in fact safe. Okay? So logic doesn't really get us to that place where we are emotionally invested in a new idea. Okay, let's stop for a second here and let's understand the power of this information. Until you feel like you are emotionally invested in something new consistently, nothing changes. So yes, you may be working on things mentally. Yes, you may be changing things behaviorally. Yes, you may be working on imagery processes. But until you hit that emotional hot button that says, I am emotionally invested in what I am doing right now, things don't change. The inner child does not get that message. So skill sets are very, very important. If you go to my YouTube channel and go on the reframing playlist, you've got a bunch of skill sets there that you can begin adopting each and every day. If you're doing any of my programs, you're going to notice that there are responding and reframing type of skill sets that you can use each and every day. You need techniques. You need them, okay? Number 3, nutrition and herbs. This is an area that we tend to neglect, okay? Or maybe we follow through for a few days and then we focus on something different. So make sure, first and foremost, that zinc, magnesium, and vitamin Bs are wholeheartedly within your diet. These are important. And connect with herbs. Connect with herbs that make into a tea blend that calm your nervous system and bring you mental clarity. The thing you need to understand is that certain herbs take time to be accepted by the body. Okay? Some of the herbs that I love working with, but of course you want to do your own research around, are things like kava kava. Really calms my nervous system. Reishi tea is one of my favorites. Mugwort is very, very good for me in terms of creativity. So I have connected with a handful of herbs that I use on a daily basis that bring me to a place where I don't have to be led one way or another. I really feel a deep sense of balance within, okay? So really focus on the nutritional aspect and the connection with certain herbs long term. This is a very, very important habit that you must adopt into your healing journey. Number 4 comes down to relationships. Let me explain relationships. People, past and present. Relationships with places. I'm talking about environments where you've had some difficulties in the past. And I'm talking about bodily symptoms. I'm talking about the relationship with your own body. When you can sense that the relationship with your own body is moving from a place of survival, moving from a place of suppression to a place of connectedness and understanding, then all of a sudden trust is being built. Okay, you start to trust in your body more, and you don't fall for the ideas and feelings that normally bring you into anxiety. So my friends, we are, more than anything, we are building or rebuilding relationships, okay? Forgiveness of people from your past. You don't forgive them for their sake. You forgive them because you tell them that you're no longer willing to carry around this heavy emotional bag that you've been carrying around for years. It is not right for you. It doesn't bring you to a place of your genuine, unique self. This is why we forgive. Places where you used to have panic attacks, where you had some difficult experiences. You revisit these environments and you spend time in these environments doing pleasant things until the association has changed. Because let me tell you something. I used to have a very, very difficult association with the emergency room. Okay, as a health anxiety sufferer, I would be there almost every few days. So I knew that every time I drove by the emergency room, I had these icky feelings going on in my body. I didn't want those anymore. So I went back to the emergency room. I sat there. I grabbed my book. I spent time there. And I began to reassociate to that environment. Okay? This can be anywhere, inside or outside. Anytime you get a hunch and you go, oh man, this place doesn't really sit well with me, spend time there. Rebuild the relationship with that place. So again, we're talking about people, places, and your own body. Number 5, very important area, is creativity. You have to tap into this. You have to step into this. Don't wait until anxiety subsides to bring out your creative sides. Bring out your creative sides so the focus and energy you have is given to creativeness rather than avoiding threat. Make this a habit. You're not running from anxiety. You are refocusing where your focus is going. Okay, many times people think that, when we engage in creative acts again, right? Dancing, when we engage in, sitting and mindfully watching or listening, these are all creative acts. When we paint, when we draw, when we sing, when we do these things that many times gets shunned in society, saying, oh, you're not being productive, you're being lazy, right? We tend to go, oh, right, I have to stop doing this. No. In essence, you're teaching society how to live again. Okay, this is very, very important. You are not led by the rules and the laws of this zombie-like unconsciousness that we see on a daily basis within society. No, you're going, hey, people, this is how we should be living, mindfully, and we must stop believing in what the media, what the news, or what other people are saying based on how we should be living. Anything other than love is a lie. Remember that. Love for yourself, reconnection with others, love for this world. So, be creative again. At least gently, slowly, give it time. Be patient with it, okay? And bring along some of your fears, okay? It's not a bad thing to bring along some of your fears. More often than not, we feel like we need to solve each and every problem regarding to fear. But let me tell you something. Sometimes you can leave fear alone. And the more you leave it alone, the less focus and energy you're giving it, which means your belief systems start to change. Number 6, final aspect, contributing to healing anxiety is knowledge. You are here. Focus in on understanding and reframing the associations created within the subconscious mind. Okay? Fill yourself with good knowledge. Fill yourself with good mentors, people that really speak to you, okay? Because in any given chapter within this healing journey, you will be presented with a new piece of information. And when it speaks to you, listen wholeheartedly. Write those down and begin practicing them. So number 1, we need mindset. Number 2, we need skill sets. Number 3, we need nutrition and herbs. Number 4, we need to rebuild our relationships. Number 5, creativity. And number 6, building knowledge. Knowledge turns to wisdom. So just keep going. My friends, if you enjoyed this podcast episode, please give it a positive rate and review. I read every single one, and it would mean so much to me. And if you want to learn more about any of my programs, head over to theanxietyguy.com today. You are more than anxiety. Don't ever forget it. I love you all. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
The most powerful anxiety guidebooks on true anxiety recovery are now available on Amazon. Pick up Beyond Anxiety and F Coping, Start Healing, and supercharge your healing journey today. Also visit www.theanxietyguy.com to connect with Dennis and find the right online program for you. Remember, you are more than anxiety. See you in the next podcast episode.